Super television. Do you believe in God? We live in a highly sophisticated information age, and yet strange phenomena, miracles take place, such as those created by crosses of light in Los Angeles. We have investigated some of these phenomena, which people call the signs of the return of the awaited one. We flew to Los Angeles, Mexico, and London. Miracles cannot be explained by modern science, yet they have caused profound changes in many people's lives. In India, a saint is attracting people around him by his mysterious power. This saint, Sai Baba, is known as an incarnation of God. It seems more and more people are going through a purification process. I think it's tremendous. One of the miracles Sai Baba does is to materialize things out of nowhere. I know a man who was given a Buddha statue about this high. It grew out of his open palm. We have witnessed miracles of Sai Baba, which the world's media have been following. As we approach the end of the 20th century, what are these phenomena called miracles telling us?
この放送はマルチメディアの NEC B&G とご覧のスポンサーの提供でお送りします。
6 years ago, in June 1988, a strange event took place in Nairobi, Kenya. A man dressed in white appeared out of the blue in the midst of a Christian gathering and later disappeared again. The people there called it the return of Christ. Many were instantly cured of incurable diseases. This news was reported around the globe. This is one of the photos of the Christ captured by a local cameraman. We were told that this man dressed in white has since been witnessed by many people around the world. However, this is the only photograph we were able to obtain. We could not find more tangible evidence to confirm the existence of this man. At about the same time as the appearance of the mysterious man in Nairobi, another strange phenomena was reported in a faraway place, Los Angeles. Crosses of light appeared in houses in El Monte, where a large Hispanic population lived. We flew to Los Angeles in order to document this. Please look at it. What is the source of light behind this window?
La puede iluminar una vela, un cerillo y el encendedor.
Okay.
It is just a light bulb. The brilliant crosses of light appeared in more than 30 houses in this area, where they were not seen before. The reason why a cross appears on glass seems simple. When a light source is provided behind frosted glass, the refraction of the light could be seen as a cross. But here, there are two windows with exactly the same type of glass, yet a cross appears in one window and not on the other. It seems we cannot dismiss this phenomenon as created simply by the nature of glass. As soon as the crosses appeared, violence and drugs disappeared from this town. It used to be a very bad area.
かつてこの周辺は日常的にドラッグの売買やレイプ、強盗などの犯罪行為が頻繁に行われ、人があまり寄りつかないような極めて治安の悪い場所でした。
The sudden appearance of the crosses of light in this community has caused tremendous changes. Now it looks to us a peaceful place, and the residents seem to be living harmoniously. And the mysteries don't stop there.
The Lord is with thee.
At a house where the glass was displayed in the living room, people continued to gather to pray in front of a miracle of God. Among them is a woman called Sylvia. She had an extraordinary experience 5 years ago. While she was looking at the cross, she felt the light from the cross stream into her breast. After that, the cancer in her breast, which was scheduled for surgery, disappeared. Up until then, I didn't believe in God at all. I have completely changed since then. I'm a different person. I don't have much struggle with my family or neighbors anymore. I'm more patient, more peaceful. The crosses of light appeared in Los Angeles 6 years ago. And the mysterious man in white was witnessed in Nairobi, Kenya, just about the same time. There's a man who claims that these two events did not take place by chance, that they are preparing the way for the emergence of an individual called Maitreya. Many religions state that a time will come when God will show himself to the world. This man claims that Maitreya is a representative of God, awaited by all the world's religions, and he is creating signs of his presence all over the world. This man, who informs the world through the BBC and other media of the presence of Maitreya, lives in London, England. With some small reservations that this could be one of these new religions, we went to visit this man who shows the connection between the two miracles. The man who calls himself a messenger of Maitreya is an artist named Benjamin Krem. He receives the information from Maitreya and gives them out not only through television and radio, but also at his lectures all over the world. Maitreya is a representative of God. He is making various preparations to help humanity save this world. He is the Lord of Love. He saves the poor, the hungry, and the exploited through his love. Soon he will show himself to the world's media and will influence the whole world. He said that very soon Maitreya will be seen on one of the American television networks. Furthermore, he said that Maitreya is magnetizing water all over the world. Maitreya has been charging water with cosmic energy in many places in the world. The first such water was discovered in Tlacote, Mexico. What does it mean to charge water with energy? We flew to Mexico. Tlacote is a small village with a population of 4,000, located about 4 hours by car from Mexico City. Everyone in this village knows about the miracle water which was discovered at a ranch in the village in May 1991. An injured dog was immediately healed when he drank this water. It has the power to heal disease. Many people from North and South America come here to get this miracle water. Nowadays, the water is pumped from the well and given out free of charge. This man came from Argentina to obtain the water for his son who is suffering from AIDS. Here are the medical records of more than 60,000 people who have used this water. The yellow files are for diabetics. These are for cancer patients. We saw an amazing fact recorded in the medical record of a man in his 30s. His record clearly showed that he was HIV positive at first. He continued to drink the water. 6 months later, the test showed negative. Is there really healing power in this water? It does not taste any different from ordinary water, but when the water was analyzed by both Mexican and German research institutes, it was reported that the weight of this water is lighter than ordinary water by several percent. But by the present scientific standards, there does not exist such a thing as lighter water. The news about the miracle water was reported in Japan also. In Mexico, even some false claims were made of ordinary water by those taking advantage of this news. An American basketball player, Magic Johnson, was said to be seen at this ranch 2 years ago, taking back some 40 liters of this water. Miracle water in a small village in Mexico. Crosses of light in Los Angeles. Are they really signs of the emergence of Maitreya? We do not know. However, we cannot deny the fact that among those who experienced these phenomena, there are many who have definitely experienced a change of consciousness and healing of their diseases. At our studio, we obtained a videotape which showed a strange phenomenon. This man, called Sai Baba, seems to be creating various objects from his hands. There are some in Japan who have met Sai Baba. Mr. Takanori Tamura is an owner of a jewelry store in Tokyo. He witnessed one of Sai Baba's miracles 3 years ago. This was materialized in front of my eye. This is a rather large object. It appeared from his hand like this. At first, people said that I should not display this, but I felt that this was not right. I had a sense that I should use this to tell people about Sai Baba correctly, so I display this in my store. It was a story we could not believe right away. I witnessed Sai Baba talking to an American couple in their 60s. He was commenting on the relationship between the husband and wife. He then turned his hand around like this and suddenly produced a large golden necklace. It was probably about 80 centimeters long and the thickness of my small finger. His hand did not move more than this. He did not bring it from somewhere else. I have no doubt that he was actually creating those objects out of nowhere. American and European media have been following Sai Baba for many years. His miracles seem to attract the rational-minded Westerners also. There are many books and articles on Sai Baba published in the US and Europe. Last fall, a book on Sai Baba was published in Japan also, and surprisingly, it became a bestseller. It was titled Rational Mind Shaken, written by a young scientist, Masahide Aoyama. He attempts to look at his experience of meeting Sai Baba objectively from the point of view of a scientist. In India, Sai Baba is considered to be an incarnation of God, and people gather around him from all over the world. We went to interview Mr. Aoyama himself.
訪れてくる信者に指輪やネックレスを何もない
Ever since he was a young boy, he's been healing people or producing necklaces and other objects out of nowhere
実際に細胞が小さい頃から
and giving them to people who came to see him.
今その青山さんの右手にですね
That bracelet you have on your arm, was it materialized by him?
これはそうです
Yes, that's right. Sai Baba looked at me and told me to come near him. So I sat in front of him.
そこでこの腕輪を
Then he materialized this
私
bracelet.
が見た限りでは必ず下向きにして何回か3回ぐらいくることか
He produced it like this and grabbed it and put it on my right arm
何もない空間
to
から
create an object out of nowhere. Is such a thing possible?
サイババに出会った
One of the few Japanese who have met Sai Baba is Yoko Kirishima, a writer. She's always been interested in supernatural phenomena. In February of this year, she also witnessed some of Sai Baba's miracles.
ただこの辺の空気がずっと凍結してる感じでここに忽然
A ring suddenly appeared under Sai Baba's palm, and he grabbed it and showed it to everyone there.
指輪してみんながいますでしょ。それを見て
We held it in our hands and looked at it.
それはもうダイヤモンドみたいな
It looked like a diamond
指
ring.
輪だったんですけど、それがサイババの手に戻っ
When
て
the ring was handed back to Sai Baba, he blew on it,
一吹きなさったらそしたらそれが
and the stone changed into a green emerald.
だったんですね。影だらけで。
My goodness, I thought.
でも私はそういうことがそれほ
But
どショック
I
を
was
受けな
not too astounded by that because I knew such supernatural phenomena do
でも
exist.
そういうものがインチキもたくさんありますよね。
But there are many false tricks.
偽物か本物かという写
So we
真
must distinguish the real from the false.
明らかにそれは本物
I
だ
thought Sai Baba's miracle was real and positive. That I know. But if you ask me who Sai Baba is,
何かって言われてもまだ
I don't know yet.
世界中の人々がその
Who indeed is this Indian saint Sai Baba, to whom people come from all over the world?
サイババとその
In order to document Sai Baba and his miracles, we went to India.
そして神秘の
And in that country of mystery, we witnessed an amazing fact.
いつでもどこからでも情報を自由にやり取りできる今、迅速にアクティブにビジネスや暮らしの可能性が広がっています。街のあちこちで活躍する NEC の携帯技術です。いつもあなたのそばに。
NEC もうできた。ほら、簡単バーコード入力で引っ越しのお知らせ作っちゃった。
お兄ちゃん部見つかったんだ。
まだ。簡単バーコード入力、新聞を見に。もうできた。ほら、簡単バーコード入力で名刺作っちゃった。
お兄ちゃん主任になったんだ。
まだ。バーコードブックで簡単バーコード入力。いろいろできます。新聞を見に大好評。ズバリ使いやすい。
NEC
うまさまっすぐ。
決まりだね。
木桜生酒本醸造。今度の山杯冷やしてうまい。よっやばい。キリッと幅あるうまさです。いいね。木桜山杯生酒新発売。
あなたの健康が輝いています。自然の力を濃縮したミキプルーン。液状だから 食べ方は思いのまま。あなたの健康の真ん中にミキプルーン。
インド。
India.
ここは古くから宗
It
教
has
的な
always
色彩
been
の
a
強い
deeply religious country.
人々の暮ら
A
しには
lifestyle based on religious faith is still strongly adhered to in this country.
子供が成
It
人
is not rare for people to leave home after their children are grown in pursuit of spiritual
珍
practice.
しくないのです。ヨガの行を積むことで
People
宇宙
practice
と一体に
yoga
なりたい。
in an attempt to be one with the universe, to be closer
そ
to
れが
God.
彼らの願い
That is their desire.
そうした風土の中で
In this cultural climate, Sai Baba is considered an incarnation of God.
取材班が目指したの
We
は
went to a small village called Kodaikanal in South India. Sai Baba comes to this village once a year and stays for 3 weeks.
滞在するのが習わしになっているといいます。私たちが古代カナルの村
When
に
we arrived, our first observation was the villagers' welcome for Sai Baba,
そしてサイババをあしらった
but
品々
also numerous shops and merchants who try to make money out of people who come to visit Sai Baba.
それにしても神の化
Even
身の
cassette tapes of the voice of an incarnation of God are being sold. We were perplexed.
早朝5時
5 o'clock in the morning,
夜も明けきらぬうちか
before
ら
dawn,
人々が
people are
サイババの元
beginning
に
to
集まり
arrive to see Sai Baba.
美しい湖を望む高台
The
に
building on the hill overlooking the lake is where Sai Baba's gatherings take place.
午前6時には
By 6 o'clock in the morning, there are long lines of people who come to take part in morning prayer.
私たち取材班もその
We
列に
joined in also.
集まってきた人々
There
の
are
中に
some from
アメリ
America
カや
and
ヨーロッパか
Europe.
ら来たと思われる人も少なくありません。アメリカからやってきた男性
This man from America has been to Sai Baba more than 10 times. My life has been completely changed since I first met Sai Baba. I feel Sai Baba is everything to me. This was given to me by him. When he asked me what I wanted, I said, I want you, yourself. Then he turned his hand around like this and produced this from air. I was surprised. He put it on my arm lovingly and said, this is not a trinket.
サイババの奇跡は出会った人々
Do
の
Sai Baba's miracles change the hearts and minds of people who meet him? Are we really able to witness Sai Baba's miracles here?
私たち取材
We
班
are
には
filled with expectation and anxiety.
去年サイババの暗殺未遂事件が
Last year, there was an assassination attempt on Sai Baba's life, so people are carefully checked at the gate by volunteer staff.
この朝だけで入場者は
This morning, more than 1,000 people have gathered here. And unlike the village shops, they do not charge any money to enter, no scriptures or Bibles. Christians should pray to Christ. Buddhists should pray to Buddha. That is the teaching of Sai Baba.
午前8時30分取材班がカメラを
8:30 in the morning, Sai Baba appears.
最初にサイババを見たときに
When I first saw Sai Baba, I thought he was a small framed man, perhaps 155 centimeters tall. However, as he approached, the atmosphere around suddenly changed, and I could feel the tension of the people. That was enough for me to realize that this must be a tremendous man.
Sai Baba
accepts letters from people every morning. Sometimes he speaks to people in English. A Korean young man was spoken to. Sai Baba invites a small number of people each morning into his quarters. What takes place inside the room? Suddenly, Sai Baba produced powder-like matter. Could this be one of his miracles? But people around there did not seem to pay much attention, as if it were nothing special. Each morning, only a few will receive that white powder, they say. Sai Baba was born on November 23rd, 1926, in a small village in South India called Puttaparthi. It is said that when he was 14 years old, he realized he was an incarnation of God. And since then, he has been healing people and creating objects out of nowhere. He prophesied, "Someday people will come to me from all over the world." And then people began to gather around him, seeking for his wisdom and truth. He says, God is one. It does not matter if you pray to Christ or to Buddha. God is one. Nowadays, at his main headquarters in Puttaparthi, there are always thousands of people gathered to see him. Sometimes there are more than 10,000 people. They even have simple accommodation arrangements for visitors. Sai Baba has also built hospitals and schools with the money donated by his devotees. At his hospitals, doctors and nurses volunteer their work and treat people free of charge. Sai Baba visits this village, Kodaikanal, in April every year. He invites several people into his quarters each morning. The young man who tried to stop them from crossing in front of this incarnation of God was reprimanded.
Sai Baba は部屋に招き入れた人々に指輪やネックレスを空中から取り出して与えるというのです。どこから来たのか。
Where did you come from? How many are in your group?
必ずしも部屋へ呼ばれるとは限らない。すべてはサイババが決めることなのです。その時、昨日と同じように
Like yesterday, he produced some powder again, but we were too far off to witness it. We really wanted to see that miracle up close.
日本人でね、普通はこうやって出すんですけれども。
I know a Japanese man who was given a Buddha statue about this size. It grew out of his open palm like a bamboo shoot. One of my close friends went to see Sai Baba this March. At the end, he prayed to Sai Baba from a distance. Suddenly, his own hand folded, and he felt as if there was a piece of paper in it. When he opened the paper, he found 6 pendants of Sai Baba's head. It was in his own hand, not Sai Baba's. He could never materialize an object like that. So we had to interpret that as Sai Baba's doing. We wanted to be invited into his quarters so that we could photograph his miracles up close, but an opportunity did not arise. On this day, which was New Year's Day for Kodai Canal, we were fortunate enough to hear some of his teachings in his own voice.
He's asking the question, who am I? Who am I and who am I? Mind. It's only an instrument. Body, only instrument. Body is an instrument. Senses, only instrument. Senses are instruments. Who am I? And who am I? 24 hours to 21,600 times to he can answer no use to that. Then another answer emanating from within 21,000 and all the time. What is the answer? Breathing. So means that. So means that. That means God. That means God. Hum means I. I am God. I am God. I am God. Is the answer.
Sai Baba, whom people call an incarnation of God, says, to our surprise, that each one of us is God.
Bhajan と呼ばれる祝福の歌。演説会場に入りきれなかった人々は部屋の外でその歌に声を合わせます。この日、期待していた奇跡を見ることはできませんでした。
On the morning of the 5th day since we arrived at this village, we were able to occupy a spot in the front row. We wanted to hand him a letter asking him to invite us into his quarters. As usual, Sai Baba appeared.
Sai Baba
He is slowly approaching the area where our director, Yu Tashiro, sits.
Where did you come from?
From Japan.
Japanese.
Can I go inside? No.
In spite of all our hopes, Sai Baba just went on. Isn't our wish going to be heard? Suddenly, Sai Baba turned back.
Today.
In our director's hands, that white powder was placed.
NEC から新しい携帯電話登場。こんなにスリムで長時間使えるタフなやつ。
かかってきた。
NEC の新しい携帯電話。その名はジュワキー。
待するなら NEC
NEC
心に響くコーヒーブレイクジョージア
NEC デジタルブック創刊読書がもっともっともっと面白くなるフロッピーで読む本 NEC デジタルブック創刊
読書をプレイしよう
India's saint Sai Baba created that white powder out of nowhere. It happened right in front of our director. I've got it. I've got Vibhuti. My hands are shaking. It seemed everything took place in a second. When I saw Sai Baba coming back toward me, I felt something was going to happen. At the next moment, I found white powder falling into my hands. What Sai Baba materialized was called Vibhuti, sacred ash.
目の前で奇跡を見せたサイババは何事もなかったかのように自分の部屋へ戻っていきました。
確かに私の目の前でですね、ビブーティーをサイババが出してくれました。
Sai Baba poured this fine white powder into my hands so naturally.
サラサラっとこう手の下に、なんか非常に深く感激を。
I was deeply moved.
なくなるんじゃないですか。これ大事なんですよ。
Vibhuti must be very important to Sai Baba's devotees. At this moment, it looked as if our director Tashiro had become a saint. What is this white powder which people are so eager to get? What is its content? Is there power hidden in this powder? After we returned to Japan, we visited Professor Yoshimura, a well-known authority on the analysis of minerals. So this is the white powder you received. Science cannot explain the process of creating an object out of nowhere. Energy can be transformed into matter, energy in the form of light or sound or heat. But I don't see any of that happening here on this video. Therefore, in today's world, in the world of science, this is inconceivable, not possible. It cannot be explained by science, but we wanted to find out the content of this white powder. We took the powder to a private analysis center. After every possible attempt was made to analyze the powder, unexpected results were obtained. It contains calcium, magnesium, and carbonate. Therefore, it is a type of limestone.
白い粉は
The white powder is made up of dolomite, a type of limestone.
単なる岩石の粉。しかし
Then why are people so eager to have limestone powder?
手に入れようとするのでしょうか。私たちはインドでの取材
We
で
met an American woman in India who said this powder healed her father's cancer.
白い粉によってがんが治ったというのです。
父はがんで
My father had cancer and was given 6 months to live. When he took vibhuti, he regained his appetite and his weight, and his cancer mysteriously disappeared. When we came back to India and saw Sai Baba, I asked him if he was responsible for curing my father's cancer.
あなたが父のがんを治してくれたんですかって。そしたら
He placed his hand on my shoulder
私の肩を立て
and
て
said,
もちろん
I
私が
sure
したんだ
did.
よって言いました。そして両
Then
親
he produced vibhuti over my parents' photograph. At that moment, I felt Sai Baba's love goes beyond myself and extends to all my family. So much in my life has been changed by Sai Baba.
Oh, so much in our life has changed.
サイババの手から出る白い
There
粉
are
が
numerous reports of Sai Baba's healing power. People experience healing through his vibhuti, and even by his just seeing him.
そんなことが可能
Is
な
such a thing possible?
埼玉県川越市の帯
We went to visit a cancer hospital where they successfully use Tai Chi and Qi healing in their cancer treatments.
院長の帯
Dr. Ryoichi Obitsu has been interested in Sai Baba and his work for some time.
ないですね。
It doesn't have much taste.
貴重なもんですよね。
It's a precious thing, isn't it?
その場合のその肺がこれは非常に
If a person takes vibhuti with complete faith that this was given by someone with tremendous power, it may have some healing effect for that person more than any other medicine. That's one point. Another point is that modern Western medicine treats only what we can see, the physical body. But in reality, there is life beyond what our senses can cognize. There is something there that can stretch into the universe. Perhaps Sai Baba has a power that can reach into that place. Therefore, perhaps it is not the material content of vibhuti that heals, but that it has the power to reach into that source of life. That is my feeling.
宇宙的に広がる生命
Does Sai Baba have the power to penetrate into life, life that extends to the cosmos?
っているのでしょうか。岡山の林原生物科学
Professor Kazumi Masaki is a doctor of engineering. He is well known for his claim that there exists powerful life energy hidden in human beings. By using that life energy, he has invented many things that are now part of our everyday life. He owns more than 900 patents.
生命体のエネルギ
He
ーを
declares that Sai Baba's creation are not impossible if he activates that energy of life.
物体がどこにあろうとそんなの関係ない
It really doesn't matter where an object is. With a thought, we can move that object to wherever we want. Sai Baba creates objects. If he uses life energy, it is easy. Anyone can do the same if they lower their brain waves and do not have desire. As soon as one desires to create objects, it will not happen. When one can utilize that life energy, one will be able to use the power 10 times 100 times, 10,000 times more than the power of ordinary human beings. On the cutting edge of the science of consciousness, people are beginning to talk about the existence of a cosmic consciousness deep within this human subconscious. An increasing number of people are beginning to think that cosmic consciousness is the source of energy which all life inherently possesses. Has Sai Baba attained that cosmic consciousness?
命の音、聞いたことがありますか？一人一人の命を考える万有製薬です。
ペディグリーチャムミキサー、その美味しさと栄養は愛犬が証明します。見事な食べっぷりの秘密は贅沢な素材、新鮮なビーフと取れたて野菜の美味しさがそのままドライになった愛犬のための総合栄養食です。
よく食べるんですよ。だから体調も非常にいいですよ。
トップブリーダーが推奨するペディグリーチャムミキサー、ニューパッケージで新登場。
一流のファッション誌が最高の髪を求めるとき、この名が挙がります。ビダルサスーン。ヘアスタイリストが作るあの髪のコンディションを望むとき、あなたにはビダルサスーンのシャンプーとコンディショナー。あなたの髪をスタイリングのダメージから守り、しなやかで弾むようなサスーンクオリティに仕上げます。見せる髪、サスーンクオリティ。ビダルサスーン。
とうとうパソコン買っちゃったんですよ。K801。いろいろできるっていうし、この間話しましたよね。会社で初めて。娘も今学校でやってって言うから教えてやろうと思ってるんですよ。
違うって、もう一回やり直し。
分かってるよ。ここでしょ。
Welcome to Alice in Wonderland。
キーちゃん、これどうしたらいいのこの場合。ね、どうしたらいいのこれ。
すぐできる、すぐ楽しい9801。これで頑張っていいだね。
サンキュー。NEC。
Who is Sai Baba? Why is he attracting people's attention so much now? The people who have met Sai Baba say, Sai Baba often is asked, are you really an incarnation of God? He says, yes, I am. But you are also an incarnation of God. I know I am an incarnation of God, but you do not know this. That is a difference. The world is one being. If you call this God, then all life, every being is part of one God. That, I think, is Sai Baba's teaching. People get very excited about material miracles. But if you go beyond that, your own consciousness expands tremendously. When you actually witness something that you could not have imagined possible, you begin to realize that this could be our potential. Maybe we also have the potential to expand our consciousness to that level. If every human being inherently possesses the energy called cosmic consciousness, then by being in contact with Sai Baba, perhaps people's inner consciousness is opened. Maybe our own healing power inherent in us is activated. Everyone is God, says Sai Baba. Maitreya, a mysterious being who is said to be the awaited one. Miracle waters and crosses of light which are said to be created by Maitreya may have the power to change people's consciousness and to awaken that energy which is dormant within us. As the 21st century nears, we find all these mysterious phenomena. Are we being urged to change our consciousness? I believe that a veil that hides the unseen world is finally beginning to rise. I recognize there are an increasing number of people who are ready to open their minds to new possibilities. I hope to open my mind to any possibilities. Strange phenomena that cannot be explained by modern science. Research into our mind and consciousness. But it may not be long before the unknown world will be revealed to us in a new way. Cosmic consciousness that lies beyond our consciousness. When we attain that cosmic consciousness, perhaps we will meet God. Modern man has forgotten the power of the great energy and nature that keeps us alive. We need to recognize the various mysterious happenings in the world and to open our minds to the world that is yet unknown to us. It is a journey that will lead us into new discovery. Perhaps these amazing phenomena are an invitation to embark on this journey.
スーパーテレビ情報最前線は情報発信都市渋谷若者たちが集まるこの